the unknown supervolcano sitting in the middle of the United States, the Valles Caldera supervolcano. Now, if you look at the map, if you go to Google Map, for example, you'll see that it's only about 550 miles south of Wyoming. Straight line down. Excuse me, but I always believe that in cases of supervolcanoes, they could be very well connected to each other. Now, this is in North New Mexico, USA. The Valles Caldera is one of the smaller volcanoes, supervolcanoes that is. It's only 12 miles in diameter compared to the diameter of Yellowstone, which is about 45 miles. Valles Caldera is the youngest of two calderas in the area. The other one is called Toledo. Valles last erupted about 1.2 million years ago and 1.6 million years ago, and it erupted 241 square kilometers of rock, and it also projected ash as far away as Iowa. Iowa, that's just southwest of the Great Lakes. You can imagine. Eruption temperatures were around 1,700 degrees Fahrenheit. The eruption was roughly equivalent to 2,000 Mount St. Helens eruptions, the eruption of 1980. Up until about 60,000 years ago, there were still lava flows. 60,000 years ago. So basically, that was just around the time of the last smaller Yellowstone eruption was 70,000 years ago. And even today, there are still signs of heat below the dormant supervolcano, such as hot springs, the hydrothermal activity. Hot springs and fumaroles are abundant in this area. The likely cause for the volcano's existence is probably due to the North American plate pulling apart in that area. Seismic waves traveling through the caldera show an area of low velocity, indicating a magma chamber just beneath the caldera, of course. Valles National Caldera has a preserve. The caldera itself is now a national park. The preserve is used all year round for tourist activities such as cross-country skiing, hiking, mountain biking. It was designated a national preserve in the year 2000. Elk occupy the park, with the biggest herd around 8,000 strong. Streams and rivers populate with trout run for 40 miles around the preserve. These are used in the fishing season. The highest peak is 11,200 feet and is called Redondo Peak. This peak is a lava dome located entirely within the caldera. Now, a lot of us may have seen scenery from this because a lot of films were shot in here. Films shot in the Valles Caldera provide several filming locations there, most for films of Western genre. Some of these locations include exterior sets that are still there, such as weathered ranch houses that can be seen from the highway in Valle Grande and the small town. For example, some of the movies shot there were 1971 Shootout, 1977 Peter Lundy and the Medicine Hat Stallion, that was for TV, 1982 The Gambler, that was for TV, 1994 Troublemakers, 1995 Buffalo Girls for TV, 1997 The Last Stand at Sabre River for TV, 2003 The Missing, 2007 The Seraphim Falls, 2010 Kites, that was a Hindi Indian film, and 2013 The Lone Ranger, and 2012 to 17 Longmire is a TV series. So you could imagine it's been used. It's a beautiful location. You can see from the pictures. It dates back, Caldera dates back to prehistoric times. Spear points dating to the people living there 11,000 years ago. They've been discovered. Several Native American tribes frequented the caldera, often seasonally for hunting and for obtaining obsidian, which was used for spear and arrow points. Obsidian is from the caldera, and it was traded by tribes across much of the Southwest. Eventually, Spanish and later Mexican settlers, as well as the Navajo and other tribes, came here seasonally for grazing with periodic clashes and raids. Later, as the United States acquired New Mexico as part of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo in 1848, the caldera became the backdrop for the Indian Wars with the U.S. Army around the same time. The commercial use of the caldera for ranching and its forest for logging then began. As we said, it's 13.7 miles wide. It's an inactive volcano, although it has hydrothermal activity. It's in the Jemez Mountains of northern New Mexico, and it has hot springs, streams, fumaroles, natural gas seeping through volcanic domes dot the caldera floor landscape. The highest point of the caldera is Redondo Peak at 11,253 feet. Resurgent lava dome located entirely within the caldera, and also within the caldera are several grass valleys, the largest of which is Valle Grande, the only one accessible by a paved road, and much of the caldera is within the Valle Caldera National Preserve, which is a unit of the National Park System. And as we said, it's only about 550 miles south, directly south of the supervolcano of Yellowstone. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.